Now, the Conservative MP, James Brokenshire, was just 53 when he died from lung cancer back in October. And before he passed away, he formed a close friendship with Mandee Lucas, who was also undergoing treatment for lung cancer.
Well, Mandee has recently been given the all clear and has been to meet James's widow, Cathy. Our reporter Zoe Conway was there.
So nice.
Are we allowed to hug?
I think so.
Lovely to see you.
So, sorry, I'm wet, aren't I? So
Don't worry.
lovely to see you, Cathy.
Not at all.
Thanks
Not
so
at all.
much for having me today.
Well, you're more than welcome.
Cathy Brokenshire and Mandee Lucas meeting for the very first time.
Go through there. Yep.
Cathy's husband, James, died of lung cancer 4 months ago. Mandee has been free of the disease for the last 5 years.
How are you feeling?
I miss him all the time. But no, we are coping, and getting involved in the charity is good.
In April 2018, James Brokenshire was interviewed on BBC Breakfast. He'd had surgery to remove part of one lung just a few months before. Yet there he was, back as a cabinet minister.
It's been hard. It's been really, really difficult. And I remember just those early days where, that sort of sinking feeling in your stomach, the real pit of your stomach of, what is this? What does this mean? And I think also recognising huge pressures on your family. My wife Cathy and the kids have been absolutely extraordinary at times where, you do go to dark moments. You do really think about, what does the future hold?
Watching at home was Mandee, who was recovering from her own lung cancer treatment.
And I don't know why, but I connected with him, which sounds ridiculous. But I just felt for him. I'd been through the same thing. He's the same age as me. I was a couple of years down the line. But I felt like I wanted to reach out and say, if you want to talk, I'm here. And have you heard of Roy Castle Lung Cancer Foundation? Which I did. And he responded saying, thank you for reaching out. It's nice to know that other people have been in the same boat as me. And I'm hoping for a full recovery. And there wasn't an awful lot of chat. And then the announcement in October came that he'd passed away. And I literally sat with my cornflakes on my lap, crying my eyes out. I couldn't believe my ears that this man who was so vibrant and full of life and full of goods can just not be here at that age. 53, he's the same age as me.
Cathy says she knew she wanted to marry James the first time she met him in a pub in Essex. She says it was his charisma, his presence, that so attracted her. And when he went into politics, she became what she calls a PA to his personal life.
We were soulmates, and I kind of did everything in his personal life that he couldn't do because he was running around dealing with politics. And we've often joked in the past, the pair of us, that we've done so well and lasted so long because we're still in our honeymoon period 31 years later. But life is very different. It was very quiet. I mean, unfortunately, I lost my best mate and my husband overnight.
Well, I'm delighted to say we are now joined by Mandee and Cathy. Morning to you both.
Morning. Good to see you.
It's really interesting because actually that piece was filmed you met for the first time just a week ago.
Yep. Yeah.
And yet I think it seems like you feel like you've known each other forever.
Yeah.
Is that
really
right?
Really do, yeah, absolutely. Definitely a friend.
Yeah.
Now.
Because I know the bond that you have is a terrifically sad one, but both of you want to maybe do something positive from something that's been so difficult.
Our stories are so very different. Obviously, I've lost my husband. You're a 5-year cancer survivor, but together, hopefully, we can team up and create something. And we're calling for national screening, and that's what we're keen to get. I mean, that's the end goal, but it's just raising awareness along the way.
Absolutely.
And I know you explained it a little bit there in the film, and obviously when you met each other, but you just felt at the time that you saw something in James, and you felt you needed to reach out.
Absolutely. It was quite weird. I think he was the same age as me. I was a few years ahead of him, so I'd already had my all clear for 2 years. But it kind of flashed up, and he looked so young and healthy and vibrant. I knew a bit of him because of him being the Northern Ireland Secretary. And it just touched me. I don't know why. Obviously, he's a lovely guy. He had that magnetic smile. So I reached out to him and we had a little bit of a chat. We didn't chat a lot, but I just wanted to make sure he knew we're here, and more importantly, that he knew about Roy Castle Lung Cancer Foundation, because that's where everything starts.
And in those conversations, do you think you both helped each other? And how did you help each other?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know whether he knew about Roy Castle before. He probably did.
He did.
But it's not a very well-known charity because it's small, but it's the only lung cancer charity in the UK. They do amazing work. But I just felt like I wanted to say it's going to be okay. Unfortunately, it wasn't, which just breaks my heart. And when I saw that it had come back, and then later on when he died, it broke me. And I'm not particularly emotional, cry person, but it really broke me.
Yeah.
Cathy, what about the campaign, and why were you sort of inspired to try and do something?
The minute James was diagnosed, he knew, I mean, he always wanted to do good and help people. I mean, that's why he went into politics in the first place. And the minute he was diagnosed, it was just another campaign that he could get involved with, and hence why he did know about Roy Castle Lung Cancer Foundation. And he chaired the first debate on the floor of the House of Commons, talking about lung cancer. And he was trying to raise awareness. It's that ripple effect, isn't it? Getting people talking about it and breaking down the stigmas that attach to lung cancer.
Absolutely.
Sadly, he can't continue that fight, but I'm here and I'm willing, ready and able to do that.
And how would the screening work that you're hoping to raise awareness of? How would it work? What needs to happen?
Well, for James, he had literally 2 bouts of coughing up blood, 2 little small episodes with no other symptoms, and I know the same was for you. Well, even less symptoms.
Yeah,
you
I had no symptoms at all, but I was just lucky. I think we need to get the targeted lung health checks up and running. They are around now in certain areas of the UK. They're targeted, and Roy Castle are very much involved in getting people, obviously backing those. And we really want to call out that if you get a call up to get one, please go to that appointment, because if they've had an amazing rate of catching people at stage 1 lung cancer, which is completely curable.
And significantly, it's not just smokers.
It's definitely not. We need to destigmatise this. It's definitely not smokers.
Because you weren't a smoker.
Never smoked.
And James wasn't
James was a never smoker as well. Yeah.
And there's a stigma, and it goes right the way into the NHS and GPs. I mean, I have friends now through Roy Castle Lung Cancer Foundation that are stage 4, aged 30, 36, that went to the doctors over and over again and got they got antibiotics because the doctor did not think that it was possible they could have lung cancer, and yet a medical emergency proves that they had stage 4 and there's nothing we can do. So it's vital that people go for these targeted lung health checks. And, you know, it's a bit of a postcode lottery at the moment. We really want to get this off the ground nationally, and that's where we need help, and we need to push it.
Oh, definitely.
Really hard.
And break down the stigmas attached to lung cancer.
Absolutely.
And how are you now, Mandee?
I'm really well. So I had my 5-year-old clear in January.
Wonderful.
I was terrified beyond belief, but I had my 5-year-old clear, which, I mean, I had 15% chance of getting to this point. So I feel like it's my reason for living to make sure that people don't go through this and they do get checked out. If you don't qualify for a targeted lung health check, whether it's, you know, nationally, hopefully at some point in the future, please, if you have any symptoms at all, even down to a backache or a tickly cough, go to see your doctor and
restlessness.
Absolutely take a course of antibiotics, but if that one doesn't work, then please go back and insist go back and ask for an X-ray, because
we've just come through the pandemic as well.
Exactly.
And you know, some symptoms of COVID is coughing, loss of breathlessness, finding things difficult, lethargic. So it's, if you've got anything and if in doubt, go seek it out.
Yep.
And Cathy, it's still really early days for you, isn't it?
4 months, yeah.
How are you?
We're fine, I'm coping. I miss him every day. He was my best mate. It's just silly things like someone just asking, how was your day today? Putting the kettle on at the end of the day when you catch up with each other. But I've just got to get on and getting involved, and it's helping me get through things with the sort of power of James, and if I can sort of help other people, that's good motivation for me.
And meeting someone like Mandee as well, who, you know, sort of understands what you've been through, that must make a difference too.
Yeah, and it's, you know, we've both been through this journey. Obviously my outcome was completely different to Mandee's, but we want a lot more Mandees and a lot less Jameses, and if we can work together and team up, then that's fantastic.
Yeah, she's amazing, by the way.
You're both amazing. It's lovely to meet you both. Cathy and Mandee, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
And I know you've raised quite a bit of money already, haven't you?
Yes, the charity page, we've just found out overnight, has reached 70,000, so that's just incredible, and it is about raising money, but it's also raising awareness.
Absolutely.
And the comments that have been attached to those donations and the stories that people have put on, people that have never met James, people that have worked with him, it's lovely for us as a family and his friends to read, and that helps spur us on as well, definitely. So I recommend everyone, if they could look at the charity page, James Brokenshire and muchlove.com, that would be incredible. And then obviously that links into the Roy Castle Lung Foundation.
I was going to say, if I can say one last thing, any information, any worries, any concerns, please go and have a look at the Roy Castle Lung Cancer Foundation page. We've got nurses on there to talk to people, kind of over the phone, sorry, not face to face, over the phone. There's so much information about different lung cancers, different mutations. If you're worried about if you get called up for a targeted health check and you're worried, go on there. There's lots of information on there, but please use the charity. They're doing amazing things.
Brilliant, yeah.
It's good to know. I'm sure that will help somebody out there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.